Hello and welcome to another segment of Interviews That Matter. I'm your host Raj Mehta. Friends, in this segment we bring those guests who influence our lives. This includes elected officials, policymakers, heads of major organizations and other dignitaries. It is my sincere hope that the knowledge brought in by these guests will help our community. The purpose of the show is really to encourage our young people and our people to participate in the political process of this country. We have such guests today. Her name is Nasrin Ahmad. She is running for Town Clerk of the town of Hempstead, which is the largest township in the state of New York. Let us meet Nasrin. Nasrin, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate your time today.
My pleasure.
And also congratulations for throwing your hat into the electoral process of this country, which is very important step that you have taken, and we want to wholeheartedly congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Our community does need people like you, so want to wish you all the best on November 5.
Thank you.
So let's start with your background, Nasrin. If you can tell us, our viewers, that who you are. I know that you were in England and all, were studying in England. So let's hear from you.
Okay. Well, I was born in Africa, in Uganda. That's where my parents were brought up. And then at age of 6, we moved to England in Kent. And I am one of 5 siblings. And I was brought up there. I went to school there, and after graduation I went to Barclays Bank. I worked in bank. At about 30 years ago, I married a wonderful man, Naeem, and he brought me to this country. He was in America. I came here, and when we had children, he wanted me to be a stay-home mom. So I stayed home. After a year in Manhattan, we moved to in Town of Hempstead in Salisbury, the same house I'm still in.
Wow.
And we bought that house, brought up our 3 lovely children. I have Zainab. She went to the schools here, then she went to Cornell in Columbia, and she's the with the Assistant United States Attorney. She's a federal prosecutor. Then 5 years later, I had Hamza, again same schools. Local schools, and he went to SUNY, and that is Geneseo. And he's at the moment in Japan, in Tokyo, and he's with the American Chamber of Commerce. And my youngest baby, who he hates me calling him baby, Jafar, he's too went to our lovely SUNY, and that's in Binghamton. He did biomed, and now he's taken his MCATs and waiting for to join the med school. Anyway, when these kids were in middle school, sort of, when I was a stay-home mom, I always would take part. Like I did PTA, I was a PTA president, I was a soccer mom, I did brownies. I also co-founded a, in this East Meadow School District, Human Dignity Committee. I started, co-founded it with few mothers, and then, we had 9 schools, and I chaired on the council, East Meadow School District Council, for 4 years. And that was just to show the diversity, talk about differences. And also I did lectures, to the about prejudice and discrimination to the faculty. I would talk to them about it. So I did all that while the kids were in school. Then I also, what I did 15 years ago, I joined the local Republican Party. The reason I did that was because I said, we are Americans now. We are here, we're Americans. We are bringing up our children who are Americans. And it's not only enough for me to know who my right neighbor is or left neighbor. I want to be part of this community. As you know, with all South Asians, we tend to, they say you flock together, so we would go weekends, we would be with other South Asian families and what have you. But my children, for me, it was important to know our community. So I started in the Republican, I joined. I was the only non-white at that time.
Wow.
And what I did, again, same thing. You go in there, you talk about, and what I realized was that their values were exactly what our values were. They wanted safe streets. They wanted their children, you know, to have good education. They, you know, cared about their surroundings, their neighborhood. So I, you know, and became friends, and it became bigger. Also, what happened was that I got a job offer as a part-time in the Hempstead Town Clerk's office. And I remember that was about 15 years ago. I started working part-time, $7 an hour as a filing clerk.
As a filing clerk.
Yeah, and I think at that time I was almost, you know, I'm not going to give my age away, but you know, I was high up there. Okay, so I started, and my first work, I still remember, was, oh gosh, literally filing, you know, typing marriage licenses. And I worked 2 days from 9:30 to 2:30.
Okay.
Suffice to say, as my children got into school and I had more time when they were middle and high school, I became full-time. And I worked my way up in the town clerk's office. I worked throughout every department. I took my civil service exams. You know, somebody says to me, within the system, why don't you take civil service exams? I took my civil service exams. And at that age, you know, it's pretty tough, but I did it. And then I was made, I worked my way up to administrative supervisor.
Okay.
I had, until a couple of months back, I had a staff of 9 that I supervised. I knew every aspect of that department. And then when the position came open, the Republican Party came to me and said, why don't you run for the office? And I remember saying to myself, you know, I'm not a politician. But they were wonderful. They said, but you know the office.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Yeah, that's the key.
So here comes my community, and I call them my Salisbury community. And that is, you know, the Republicans and my neighbors and everybody. With their help and my family's help, they nominated me, and on September 3rd, then the town board, the town Hempstead, they appointed me as a town clerk, because you need a town clerk. And they appointed me, but I am doing the, I'm still going to run the election in November 5th.
So you're an interim town clerk now.
I am, that's right. I'm appointed, that's right.
Appointed,
yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So tell us something, you know, like how long you have been here? 30 years?
I've been in this country 30 years, that's right. I will be, in fact, you know what, I came January, I got married 31st December.
Wow.
So I know. I keep teasing my husband. I say, you know what, you wanted that tax break.
There you go.
You wanted to claim me as a tax, right?
So now I don't want to ask your kids' birthdays. So,
that's right.
So 30 years and I still hear English accent in you.
You know why? Because although I'm a very proud American, okay, I go home. I go because my entire family's there. They all, my brothers and everybody's there. So I go home every year. I go home every year, that's right. And you know, funny thing is, when I go home, they tell me, oh, you sound like a Yank. When I come here, they tell me you sound like British. Yeah.
But it's sweet anyway.
Thank you.
Because it's like, you know, it's a mix of English and American. So
that's right.
That's why it's kind of sweet. You know.
Thank you.
Yep. So good. I mean, see, now let's, you know, you also went through a primary, right? I mean, there was a primary.
Yes, I was sorry, I was nominated by the, I am obviously running on the Republican Party. I was also nominated by the Conservative Party. So the Conservative leadership, you know, they interviewed me, they talked with me, and they said, fine, you are our candidate. But then I had another lady who said, who is a conservative, registered conservative, said, no, I want that position. So she ran against me, and basically, you know what, it was very tough. It was very tough. I know people tend to think, well, it's a, you know, it's a primary, but what people don't realize is that primaries are very important. Had I lost that primary, I would have lost a very, very important
Line.
Voters.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Voter blocks.
That's right. A block of voters I
Right.
would not have.
Yes.
And
right.
you
Yes.
know, when you're running election,
Mhm.
every vote is precious.
Right.
Every vote.
Yes.
And but you know, with hard work, what I did, primaries are very expensive. I had fundraisers. You know, people helped me. My husband helped me. I was out throughout the primary. My days were 12 hours long, 12 to 14.
Wow.
I would go to the office. I
Right.
would work from my 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 job.
Normal. Right.
As soon as I come home, I put my sneakers on
Mhm.
and I started walking.
Mm.
And I would have people volunteered who would drive me to their areas throughout the town. And I would knock on the conservative doors. I would introduce. I wanted them to have that 60 second, 90 seconds with me,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because
right.
I do feel that an informed voter will vote. It's the best. So I would go knock on the door, and this was 7 days a week.
Wow.
Weekends were from, I would start, I think, at 9 o'clock, and I would come
Right.
home at 8 o'clock,
8 o'clock.
Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
And I did that for good, I think, what was it, 5 weeks? 5
Yeah.
weeks non-stop. And then, by everybody's help and by grace of God, come September 10th, the primary I won with 81%.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. But it's a hard work.
What was her experience about that? I mean, why she was running, and what was her experience?
You know what?
I mean,
I will only
be
tell
it-
you what I know.
Yeah, what you know, right.
I was very surprised.
Right.
Okay, her name was Pat Friedman.
Yes.
She's
yes.
there, and God give her long life.
Right.
Pat Friedman.
Right.
And I did go to the leadership, and I asked the conservative leadership. I
Right.
said, "You nominated me, so how come she's on the ballot?"
Right.
And they said that she did come, and she said, "I want to be, because she's, I have my values are, I'm a true conservative."
Right.
So they said that they didn't give her much, they didn't think much of that, because you have to get, I believe, I might be wrong, 600 of signatures on a petition
Okay.
to be placed on the ballot.
On the ballot, right.
Now, with me, obviously, the Conservative Party went out and got the signatures.
Okay.
So they put me on. I had no problem.
Okay.
Apparently, she went and she got 600.
Ah.
And when they, the Conservative leadership,
Right.
when they called and checked, how did she get you to sign?
Manage, right.
Rumors are, again, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know, she had used she's a Muslim, she's South Asian, she played on those fears. And people are people, and you know what they say, the fear of unknown.
Right.
We all
right.
have that fear of
Right.
unknown.
Right.
And that was one of the reasons, Mr. Mehta, why I went out there. I wanted people to know me.
Exactly.
I
That's
wanted them to know Nasrin Ahmad.
Right.
And I would, and this is what I would do. I would knock on the door. I had a palm card I had made. I would hand that to them, and I would say, I'm Nasrin Ahmad. I'm running for Town Clerk, Town Hempstead. I want to introduce myself, so ask me whatever you want.
Right.
People loved that, the fact that I took that.
Right.
Then
right.
the also another major thing that helped me was that Kate Murray, who's the supervisor,
Right.
she endorsed me. So
right.
she wrote letters out, her endorsement saying, I worked with her for 12. Now Kate's worked with me for 11 years.
Right. Right.
Right.
She has been there for a long time.
Absolutely. So she said, I've known her personally, I worked with her, she has same values. Then the other person who I'm very, very grateful for endorsement, and that was Congressman Peter King.
Right.
Congressman Peter King wrote a letter. He did a robocalls as well, because he knows me. And he
Right.
says, she is true conservative, she cares for this country, she's an American, she would make a great town clerk. And I think those factored in, brought people out.
But it's a little sad, when at this day and age that people do have this kind of thinking in their mind. which is kind of, you can't remove that obviously.
You
know,
can't.
because recently we had Miss America, right? I mean, about that also there were like a lot
You
of
know something?
tweets, which was not right either.
I was so sad. I was so saddened by that.
Right.
She is an American, a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
See,
Right.
this is the only country, America,
Right.
which is a land of immigrants.
Right. Yes.
And I say this to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
In this country,
Right.
you do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
you work hard, and you can achieve anything.
Right.
I am living the American dream.
Right.
And I'm telling people,
Mm-hmm.
pick yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to do, get a goal
Mm-hmm.
and do that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. No, there's nothing is impossible. Nothing is
Nothing's
difficult
impossible.
as long as you work on it. That's
Absolutely,
all. You know,
absolutely.
wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Please stay with us. Welcome back to Interviews That Matter. I'm your host Raj Mehta. We are having a conversation with Nasrin Ahmad. Nasrin is running for Town Clerk for the town of Hempstead. The November 5th election is coming up. Nasrin, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us something about the Town Clerk's office. What do they do? And I mean, you've been there for 15 years, so you know each and every corner. Like you started from the filing and then you went all the way up.
Right.
So what are the functions of
the Town
Clerk's office?
Okay. Town Clerk's office is a service providing office.
Okay.
We don't set policies.
Okay.
We don't do anything like that. The Town Clerk is a registrar of vital statistics, and also he's the custodian of all the documents in the town government.
Okay.
Okay. And his major, that's one of the two, and the other is his or her part is to record and conduct the public hearings, the town board meetings, the public hearings.
Okay.
We have different departments in there, the sections within the town clerk. It's a very large department. It has almost anywhere between 139 staff.
Oh.
And we have what is a marriage department.
Okay.
What the marriage section is, the New York State, there's law that if you're going to perform a marriage, and it doesn't matter if a priest performs it, or an imam performs it, or a judge performs it, a civil marriage, you have to obtain a license.
Okay.
That is the law of the land.
Okay.
So we issue the licenses. The couples would come to us, we check the documents, issue. So that is the function. We also perform a civil marriage. I am a marriage officer. I perform a marriage, and we have about 15 other marriage officers. Extremely busy, very, very busy department, but a happy department.
Good.
I love, that's where I started from. It's the most happy department. So that's a marriage department. We also have issue. We are, we are the accepting agency for United States passport. I am again the agent to accept passports. I can sign the accepting agent on behalf of United States passport. So we do that. We provide a service there. We take pictures there. Everything that you need is there. Then also another function that department we have is, and that is permits. We give taxi permits, hunting permits, bingo permits, game licensing, any license that it is, we take care, the town provides that. Tow trucks, they need a license to function, we do that. Then we have what is, again, as I said, the birth certificates and the death certificates. Anybody who is born or dies in the town of Hempstead, their death and births are recorded with us, and we issue the certificates. Okay. We also have a very large archives, and we have a historian on premises. We keep that genealogy. If you want that, it's all is there. We then also, as I said, the administrative very large section, and that is any documents, you know, the resolutions which is passed, a local law which is made. You know, when you put the stop sign, you see these stop signs out there. That is, again, the town does that. So the traffic control department of the town brings it, but it's the town clerk's office who actually will type the resolution and everything. After every town board meeting, all the documents, the resolutions which are adopted from personnel to any local law, whatever, ordinances, they are all processed in the town clerk's office. So it is a very large. What we do, which I'm very, very proud of, and that is that we take the government to the public to make their life a little easier. And that is, we have a child safety ID program. And what we do, we have a mobile, and my staff will go to schools or to the libraries or street fairs, and we have children, we encourage children to come, we take their fingerprints, we take their picture, we have a card, a card, we put them on there, write their name, and we give it to the parent to go home, take a hair sample for DNA, put it in a Ziploc and attach it, and put a dental record at the back and keep it safe, and God forbid, we hope they never have to use it.
Oh, so your office keeps it?
My office gives it. It is a free service. In fact, I will say to the community, I will say, if you want, like the gurdwaras or the churches or the mandir, if they want to have that on weekends, or even if you're in the town of Hempstead and you want to do that, call my office. We will set it up. It's absolutely free, and we will bring it out to you. We also bring out passport mobile. Rather than taking a day off and coming to going to the post office or coming, we bring it to you. You can come with your old passport documentations, and we will accept your applications and send it off for you.
So this is for the town of Hempstead people or anybody?
This is for the town of Hempstead, the service that we take out. But obviously, I mean, we can only stay on the town of Hempstead. I don't know if you know, it's the largest township. It starts all the way from the border of Queens, Franklin Square, Belrose, all the way down. It goes to Seaford.
Wow.
Yeah.
Large.
Yes.
So I believe for that reason, because you're keeping very important documents and custodian kind of, that's why it's an elected position. Town clerk.
It is an elected position, yes, and it is a 2-year position.
It's a 2 years.
And yes, and the town clerk and also the supervisor, they run together. Where the council member are 4 years, but we are 2 years, and it's it's hard.
No, but one thing I tell you, I must say that you are the most qualified person to run this office.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
You've been doing this for 15 years. The way you described it,
yes.
very, very, very important.
Thank you.
Very
I'm
nice.
very proud of that office.
Yeah, no, that's very nice. That's very nice.
Thank you.
So tell us something. What is like Nassau County also has a town clerk's office, right?
They have a county clerk's office.
County clerk's office.
Yes.
Do they do the similar thing?
There, I don't know all of them. I don't want to take anything away from Maureen O'Connell. She's my lovely friend. I know they do like their office would be when I took my oath of office. We filed it at her.
Oh, okay. So she oversees all other towns, I guess.
They have their own functions. Yeah, you file the oaths. When you have your lease, when you buy a house, the lease is recorded in the county clerk's office. Any easement on the property, land, that is the county clerk's office. What else does county clerk does? When you have a lawsuit or anything to do with the courts, I believe the index number for filing a petition for a case is taken from or is recorded in the county clerk's office. I'm a notary public. For that, my commission and my documentation came through the county clerk's office. Yeah, I don't know all their functions, but these are the ones I do know. Yes.
Wow. So how can our community help you? What can we do for you?
Mr. Mehta, every politician has two things they need:
Right.
votes
Mm-hmm.
and funds.
Right.
Running an election is a very, very expensive.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can volunteer your services.
Mm-hmm.
That is the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But the major thing which I would request for my South Asian communities,
Mm-hmm.
see, because what I really want to say is, here we are
Mm-hmm.
in this beautiful, wonderful country, and I know for the fact
Mm-hmm.
we have the most educated
Mm-hmm.
South Asians.
Mm-hmm.
We have education, we have money, we have status, but we don't have representation in even in the local government. So I say to you, here you are, you have an opportunity, one of your own. I don't care if you're a Republican, you're an independent, you're a Democrat, or you're a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
When there is a national election, you vote the way you want. On the local level, vote for somebody who's going to help you cross the party lines.
Right.
And that is me.
Mm-hmm.
I am here for you. I am your person.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be opening doors for your children, for my children, for next generation, for other South Asians to step into it.
Mm-hmm.
If with your help and by grace of God, if I do win this election, I will be the first, I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe the first South Asian elected official in the state of New York.
Wow.
And we have been here for so many years.
So many years, right. Yes.
And we haven't, it's not that we haven't been given the opportunity.
Right.
The opportunity is there. I think we never thought
Mm-hmm.
of it, or there was hesitance, or you know, people are a little kind of shy, you know, and politics is a hard work.
Right.
It is a hard
Not
work.
easy.
But everything good is a
Right.
hard work.
Yes.
But look at the rewards we will get.
Right.
That's one thing. The other thing is funds.
Okay.
Okay, and the way you can help, or your, you know, your viewers, if they really want, and they don't have to be Town of Hempstead viewers.
Right.
They can be anywhere.
Right.
Town of Hempstead viewers, please come out on November 5th and go row B.
Row B.
Line B, just go all along and vote there.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Non viewers who want to help me, including the Town of Hempstead, you can send any amount of check and make it payable to Friends of Nasrin Ahmad,
Mm-hmm.
P.O. Box
Mm-hmm.
744,
Mm-hmm.
Westbury, NY 11590. You can go on the Facebook, just search for me, Nasrin Ahmad, and befriend me, and I will accept your, you know, friendship. You will have all the latest update on what I do, where I'm going, fundraisers I'm having. All the information is on their social media. So that's, you know, that and will be great help.
How can people get involved, right, you know, in your campaign?
I tell you, again, you know, I'll give you an email. It is Nasrin, Nasrin,
Okay.
GINAI @gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, shoot me an email.
Okay.
All right, I would love the help. I would love not only help. How about young people or viewers who are thinking of entering local politics? And
Right.
local politics is not only your town, your school board,
Yeah.
your library elections,
Right.
your fire district. Let's get involved. Let's get involved on lower level, because that is where the roots are. And then we will together, we will move higher up.
I think that's a very good message that you have given. You know, that's the same message that I've been giving for this show.
Yes.
And that's the whole purpose of this show, that we want to encourage our people to move, to take the next step.
Absolutely.
You know, because we are individually, we are very happy.
Yes.
Everybody's happy.
But
I
we are
really-
Americans.
We are
Remember,
Americans, right.
we are
Yeah.
Indian Americans, Pakistani Americans, Bangladeshi Americans.
Yep.
We are Americans. That's
Yep.
right.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
Yes, that's the bottom line. So, what is your last word, final message?
My final
to the end.
message to each and every one of the South Asian viewers is, this is your country. We came to this country for a reason.
Right.
because we wanted a better life.
Better life.
And we are here and raising our family because we found that. So let's get involved. Let's give back to this country.
Right.
This country which gave us that peace. This country which gave us that respect. This country which gave us the freedom.
Right.
So let's give back to this country and help other fellow Americans.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank you.
Really. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us
having me.
today. If you have any questions, comments, you can email me at rajmitv@gmail.com. Again, that's rajmitv@gmail.com. You can watch our prior shows on YouTube at youtube.com/Infosys International. Again, that's youtube.com/Infosys International. Do not forget to go to vote on November 5th, general election, November 5th, Nasrin Ahmad, Town Clerk for Town of Hempstead. Thank you.